and welcome back to Cosy Coaching with me, Sinitta, your confidence and mindset coach, where we are getting real about self-growth, one late night chat at a time. Roll the credits.
Hey there, friend. Welcome to Cosy Coaching.
Good evening, ladies. Good evening. I'm so excited to have you here. And I'm not even going to lie, I'm going to be excited about every single episode that I do. So just buckle in and be along for the ride. Be along for the journey. Today, I want to talk to you about the rise and the rebuild of your next level identity. And a part of that is confidence. And thing about confidence, I used to always think that confidence was something that somebody had. They'd walk into a room, they would own the space, they would ask great questions, they would answer the questions that people had for them without even batting an eyelid. And it was something that they just had, and it wasn't something that I could have. Like, I used to think with confidence that I needed to have a drink, or maybe I needed to be around a certain person because they made me feel comfortable and confident. So then in turn, I would come off confident. I'm naturally a bubbly, happy-go-lucky person, but underneath, I'm actually an ambivert. So I am extroverted around the people that I am comfortable with, that I know quite well, and that make me feel safe. And then I'm a little bit more observant, reserved around people that I don't know. So maybe if somebody new, it could be work colleagues, I can be quite reserved and I'll hold myself back and I'll be more observant. I will observe the space that I'm in, and then I'll decide what I want to do and how I want to act. And it's not me pretending, it's me assessing what version of me I want to show. And that used to take so much time and energy from me. And then when I started delving into self-growth, I realized that, hold on, I started learning that most confident people, they've learned to be confident. They've learned how to step outside of themselves. And once I realized that not every single person in the room is confident, if you see people that I especially want to talk on stages, but it literally fills me with so much dread. I'm like, will I ever be able to do that? I push myself to talk in front of people. I push myself to talk up in meetings. And it just took me a long while to think, how can I feel more confidence? Because confidence is actually a feeling, and confidence, if you feel confident in your head, you will exude confidence. So my natural bubbly personality can come across as I'm very confident, but in actual fact, like, I probably am dying inside and want to go and hide. And also my social battery, once it gets to a certain level, I'm like checking out, I'm ready to go and be by myself. And that's the two sides of being an ambivert, so the extroverted side and the introverted side of me. Like, sometimes they battle to find their place. But yes, confidence is something that you can actually learn how to do. And the way that you can start feeling confident is start trusting yourself. What could have happened is that you tell yourself that, let's give you an example, that you are going to eat healthy at every single lunchtime this week. Monday rolls around, you've spent the weekend planning, maybe you've done some meal prep, and Monday comes around and you stick to the plan, you eat your meal plan, you eat that healthy lunch. Tuesday comes around, you had a meeting in the morning that maybe stressed you out, made you feel real down. Now you don't want to eat that meal prep that you spent 2 hours doing. So what you do is you go and maybe buy a takeaway, whatever, and then you feel bad because you're like, I said I was going to have that healthy lunch every single day. And then you're like, oh, I'm so stupid. Have you ever said that to yourself? Or, I've got no follow through. And when you start saying those things to yourself, every single day, or even every now and then, when you say it to yourself one too many times, what your brain does is looks for ways to reconfirm what you're saying is true. So instead of saying to yourself, okay, I didn't eat that healthy lunch, tomorrow I'm going to eat that meal prep, you start beating yourself up about, oh, I can't be consistent. Oh, I'm never going to be able to eat healthily. Oh, this is for other people. And you start internalizing that feeling, and your words become your reality. And I love this saying. I can't remember who said the saying, but they said that your words are, what was the saying? It was something along the lines of words have meaning, and that's why they call it spelling. So it's kind of like, boom, I'm silly, boom, I'm stupid, boom, I can't do this, boom, I'm never going to do what I said I was going to do, boom, I can't keep promises to myself, boom, and you're consistently just continuing this spell on yourself, instead of just being like, okay, today wasn't the day, tomorrow we go again. Not talking negatively about yourself is really, really important for your confidence. So some things, you're not going to do things perfectly. I love the thing when they say that. I love that you have to understand how multi-complex a human being is. There's so many different layers to it. Don't be the person to put yourself down. Yes, there are going to be times where it's stressful, you're not going to maybe do what you said you was going to do, but what you can do is reframe it. Instead of talking negatively about yourself, reframe it into something positive. And I'll go back to what I said about the brain. The brain will look for ways to reconfirm what you're saying. Your brain, and when I learnt this, it changed a lot of things. There's a lot of things in self-growth that can really help you. And one of the things that helped me to understand is that my brain is there to keep me safe, keep me comfortable, and keep me out of harm's way. So that's basically keep you safe. So if I try to do something that my brain is not used to me doing, it goes, what are you doing? I don't like this. What's going on? And you have to rewire your brain to step into different things, to do different things. So when you're stepping into your next level identity, you're going to have to do hard things. You're going to have to do things that you've not done before, and your brain is going to discombobulate and be like, oh my God, what is she doing? And you have to keep on doing it until your brain realizes, hold on, we've done this before. Okay, we're doing it again. We've done this before, we're doing it again. Oh, we've done this, we did this. And you keep on going, and it's the compound effect. So if you keep on doing something, your brain will eventually rewire, and you will inherently be that version of yourself. So let's say you want to be confident, and you want to trust yourself that you can keep promises to yourself. Start small. So let's go back to the example of the meal prep. So you say you want to eat healthy lunches. Instead of saying I want to eat healthy lunches for 5 days, say on Monday and Wednesday I'm going to eat a healthy lunch. That's manageable. I find that, especially me as well, I was one of those people that I would try to change loads of things at the same time and then wonder why I failed. So instead of doing that, start so small, and I'm going to say it. I think I'm going to try how can I get this into every episode? Remove the barrier to entry. What will make that so easy that you can't say no to it? What, you can't eat 2 healthy lunches this week? Bet you can. Bet you can. So do that and start keeping those promises, because once you get to Wednesday and you've eaten that meal prep and you're like, did it. Okay, maybe you're going to like, I've got some left over. I'm going to do it tomorrow as well. Do it tomorrow as well. And then stop. And then carry on normal routine. Next week, you're going to do Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. Oh, we did it again. Oh, and we'll do Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday. Now you've got 4 days. And the more you keep on showing up in that way that you want to show up, your brain will slowly rewire. So it's like when you break something, and I can't think of an analogy. I love an analogy and I can't even think of an analogy, but I'm thinking about how you rewire the brain when you cut the cord, and then it finds its way to another section, and then it connects to that new neuropath. I'm getting all sciencey, and I'm not sciencey in the slightest. But you get where I'm coming from. Like, you're rewiring your brain, so your brain needs to cut off where it is, and then it needs to go in a different direction to get that new connection. And your brain will inevitably tell you, no, don't like this, go back to how we were before, because that was comfortable, that was safe. But you know that you want more for your life. You want to build that confidence. So you have to start so small, make it easy, and keep on repeating it. And then once you've it's a habit. So once you've got that habit in place, go ahead and add something else in. And don't try and change too many things at once. And that's how you'll start to build self-trust within yourself. And self-trust in yourself inevitably builds confidence. And once you learn that, anything and the world is your oyster. What I want you to take away from this is you're not going to talk badly about yourself. You're not silly. You're not stupid. You can do things. You are a person that follows through. And I want you to, if you have to, speak affirmations, stick post-it notes everywhere, because you are negative about yourself. And I'm guilty of that. Sometimes maybe I'll stub my toe and I'll be like, stupid, or I'll get something wrong. I hate making mistakes. I'll be like, you're so stupid, or something like, I can't even think of the words that I say, but it's along those lines. It's definitely negative. It's not positive. And I'll try and I'll catch myself now. Before I didn't even notice. But now if I can feel something coming, I'll stop myself and I'll reframe it. This is my Sleepy Girl mocktail. This makes me sleep so well. So after Cosy coaching, your girl's gonna be sleeping. So I said that we rise by keeping promises to ourselves. And I want you, again, this is all about starting small and building that confidence and building it on top of each other until you feel that you have got that into a solid routine or habit. And now you move on and you add. I want you to pick something small. Think of something that you've wanted to do for ages for yourself. So whether that is the way you want to speak affirmations in the morning, you want to pray in the morning, you want to have a slow morning. At nighttime, you want to have no phone before you go to bed. You want to have organized the day, the next day for yourself, so you know what you're doing. You want to have certain days where you do certain things. I love to have certain cleaning days. I like to have certain business days. So if there are things that you wanted to do, start slow. One day, what is one thing that you can add? And start small and do it for 1 month without adding anything else in. I think a lot of people, when they're on their self-growth journey, again, they want to add things, change things, but that is I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you, it's gonna set you up to fail. So don't do that. Choose one thing, whatever that looks like for you. I spoke in a previous episode about I wanted to stop shouting at my kids in the morning, and I knew that I was the problem because my morning routine wasn't set. So I took it upon myself to say 6 a.m. I'm going to wake up, and that's what I did. I woke up at 6 a.m. and I just did that. Well, actually, not going to lie, I did a lot more than just that. And inevitably I fell off. But the 6 a.m. is still with me right to this day. And what I do in that morning has changed, and it's a little bit more comfortable for me and what my goals are. But that 6 a.m. was what I should have just started with. Wake up at 6 a.m. And yeah. So choose something so small and do it for 1 month. Do it for 1 week if you're really wanting to hammer it down. But build a habit, it's like 21 sessions. Yeah, do that and see how you go. And you might find that that thing was that you wanted to do. Mine was meditation, and I know, wow, people are gonna look at be like, oh my god, she doesn't meditate, but I don't. It was something that I wanted to do. And I would wake up at 6 a.m. I'd come downstairs, I would meditate for 10 minutes, then I'd go out for a walk. And it just didn't fit into my routine so well. So I had to remove it. I haven't been able to get it back into my routine. Is it something that I would like to? If I'm going to be perfectly honest, no. No, it isn't. It's just not something that fits my routine at the moment. But whatever it is for you, fit that in and do it for 1 month, and then add other things on. Build that confidence, build that self-trust in yourself, rewire that connection somewhere else so it feels like it's you. And it's okay to do something and then realize that it's not for you. It do not beat yourself up. No one's gonna come beat you. You're an adult. Like, you have free will. Please take responsibility that you don't need to be doing what everybody else is doing. Rebuilding. Rebuilding is messy. It is messy. I don't want to sugarcoat it and be like, yes, it's going to be all flowers and lilies, and yeah, you're never going to have a setback. You're never going to want to go backwards or whatever. For me, this is something new that I'm doing. Cosy coaching is new. I want to show my style of coaching, how I like to talk, who I am as a person, show my personality a little bit more. And it's a little bit rough and ready and raw, and it might not be as polished as some coaches. But I've come to the understanding that I'm not a polished coach. I'm still learning, and I quite like this messiness. I quite like that my videos are a little bit just disjointed, because that's who I am. I am stepping into my coaching era, and I love everything about it. I am taking what I've learned and I'm sharing it with you in the way that I feel comfortable, that makes me feel like me, and that I'm not performing. I am not acting like somebody else. So this is just the messy middle for me in coaching. And when I come back to these first few videos in 10 years time, I might be like, oh, so cringe, because I was watching some of my vlogs and my makeup tutorials the other week whilst we was on Christmas break, and I was literally laughing and cringing with myself. So, but I kept on showing up. I didn't realize. If you go back, I haven't deleted anything from my YouTube, because I know some people are like, delete it because like you want to show like your best foot forward. But I want to show the journey to how I've got here, and I want to do more vlogs, not any more makeup tutorials. I love makeup myself, but I won't be doing it in that kind of format. But vlogs, I love watching a vlog. I will happily do a vlog, but I just love seeing my progress to how I've become a coach. And it is, I started YouTube when I started my self-growth journey, and it just shows throughout my growth and where I've got to, and this sit down session that I've come to as well. So it's going to be messy. You're going to look back on it and be like, oh, cringe. Put it out while it's messy, while it's imperfect, whilst you're still learning, and just go for it. Because are you going to look back in 2 years' time, 3-4 years' time, and wish you started 4 or 5 years ago? Or are you going to look back and be like, yeah, I started. Yeah, it was a little bit shit. but you started. And again, that's a way to build confidence. One of my dreams, I'll let you know, one of my dreams is to talk on stages. And this is my stage for now. And you are my audience. And I want to pour as much energy into you as I would as someone who is polished doing a TED talk. And yeah, I'm hoping you're enjoying it. Like, I'm not trying to be anybody else but myself. So it's going to be messy. You're going to look back on things and think, oh, cringe, but just do it. What's the best that can happen? I love that. So you know me, I always want to give you something tangible to take away. I've been talking for I don't know how long, but let's get into the 2026 roadmap portion of the video. I've got my notes here of what I would love for you to do and take away and implement, because I know it's going to help you to step into this next level of identity. So we're going to rise. We're going to rise. And in order to do that, I want you to pick 3 micro habits. So going back to, I think it's episode 1 we did this in, is where we created our her, our future self. Or we did a day in a life. If you haven't done a day in the life of your her, it's very simple. All I want you to do is think about your future self identity, your future self. What does she do when she wakes up? Throughout the whole day, I want you to walk yourself through her entire day of what your ideal life would look like. And from morning until her eyes close at night. And then what I want you to do is to pick 3 micro habits that your future self does that you currently do not do. And I want you to start implementing them into your life. And it's not massive, big changes, small micro habits that your her does. I can't tell you what to do. You need to find out what it is. And that's the homework that you've got. I love a little bit of homework, so I hope you do too. So if you haven't created your her, create your next level identity, your whole day. What's your ideal day look like if you were the person that you want to be? Okay, what does she do when she wakes up? What does she do at lunchtime? What does she do in the evening? What does she do before she goes to bed? Everything. And I want you to be as detailed as possible with that. And then choose 3 micro habits that your future self does. And then I want you to start implementing that into your life. Because in order to become her, you need to act like her. You need to start doing things that she does. I'll give you an example of some of the things that I do that my future self wants to do. So my future self, she runs a successful coaching and wellness brand. And things that I do in order to step into the businesswoman that I want to be and the coach that I want to be is I have certain days that I do certain things. So for instance, today is, so when I film my Cozy Coaching, it's a content batch day. So I will film a week's worth of content in my content day. So whether that's carousel, reels, Cozy Coaching, I do that on that day. I have a day when I do my projects and planning. I have a day when I do admin. I have a day when I look at my visibility and growth. There's a day that I do coaching and delivery. And those days are set. I do those same things every single week and on those same days as well. And it helps for me to be able to build the business that I want whilst also being employed right now, so that when I'm in my business full time, I've got my plan already laid out, and now I've got 8 hours extra that I can fit this all in and I can expand it. But every single day has a purpose, and that is a micro habit. That might seem to you as a macro habit, but is a micro habit because it helps me to organize my life. I've got kids, I've got a husband, so I organize myself so that I can optimize my time better. Step 2, we're going to go into choosing a courage challenge. I love this. And a courage challenge that I chosen for myself for Q1, because I want you to do this courage one not every single day, but throughout the whole of Q1. If you don't know, Q1 is the quarter of the year, so it's the first 4 months of the year. You're going to, because you break your I break my year up into quarters, and that's how I plan my goals and my strategy and everything. So for Q1, my courage goal is to talk more on stories and for people to get to know me a little bit better, for me to practice my coaching, practice my speaking, practice how I want to come across, practice and practice and practice. So that's my courage one. And it's really funny because basically I'm talking to myself, right? In the hopes that whoever watches it or whoever follows me resonates with what I'm saying. So I always try and make sure that what I'm saying has a tangible result at the end, and that there's a reason why I'm talking about that particular thing. So I want you to choose a courage challenge. Step 3, I want you to track your progress. How often have you done your courage challenge, your micro habits? Are you resonating with your future self that you created? I want you to celebrate the small wins. I did this for a month. Yes. Cheers. Let's go and buy myself that lipstick that I wanted. Let me buy those shoes that I wanted. Celebrate those small wins. Acknowledge them. If you like to journal about how you showed up for that courage challenge, how those micro habits are helping your life right now. How much better do you feel? Do you need to change them slightly? Have some reflection on your... So every month, have a reflection on those micro habits, on that courage challenge. Did you even do it? Maybe you set it and then you didn't do it. So track your progress, celebrate those small wins, and be proud of yourself for taking that step as well. And it's not about being perfect. It's not about, oh, I said I was going to do it 5 times and I only did it 4 times, and next month I only think I can do it 3 times. It's not about being perfect. It's about how can you plan ahead in order to fit that into your life. And I think a lot of things come down to people not planning. They're not looking at their schedule, their routine. They're looking at Instagram, scrolling. Like, all these people living their bestest life and I can't do it. You start to question yourself. So don't live on Instagram and TikTok. Come off of there and look at your actual life. What does your actual life feel like? And are you optimizing it for the best? So yeah, and then change things if you need to change. And that's it. That's it. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, the rise and rebuild. I'm just going to recap on the steps. So step 1, choose 3 micro habits that your future self does in order for you to step further into your future self identity. Step 2, choose a courage challenge that you are going to do for the next 3 months and stick to it as best as you can. Of course, life happens. Remember that. Step 3, track your progress and celebrate your wins. It's not about perfection. It's about progress, and it's about building that confidence. And that's it, my friends. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you don't follow me over on Instagram, where are you? What are you doing? Come and follow me over there. I'll leave the details down in the description. And I also have a newsletter. Wow, like a lot of information for you, but I would love for you to join the fam. If you have not subscribed, please do subscribe. I would love to have you here, and I will see you on my next episode. Bye.